Joes.
Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
I hope everyone caught our Val Kilmer retrospective reissue last week. That was, I was going to say, I mean, rest in peace, Val Kilmer, but that was fun putting that together. We kind of took here's where we came up with this crazy idea, and then here's the thing, all in one bucket.
It was fun listening back to it too, just because I wanted to.
I'm halfway through it. I was listening to it myself, and I went for a ride, and the ride ended. But I was listening to it myself, and it's been a few years.
It has been, and I don't listen to the show normally, but because I edit it, so I hear it now, and then I hear it then.
Well, it's hard,
but I did listen because I was curious.
So.
Yeah, the part where we came up with the idea was actually fun because it was like we literally, it's just he's seeing it all. We literally did what we said we were going to do and how we came up with it. And it was like, let's do this. Let's have a drinking show. Let's do that, and then. It was nice. So we enjoyed it.
Occasionally we follow
people
through.
Out there enjoy it.
And I forgot until I started re-listening that Daryl and Brian, you guys invited them at the last minute. And I didn't even know they were going to be there.
I wouldn't have remembered that. Oh, really? I didn't know you didn't know. It was last minute.
Yeah, you guys both invited. One of you invited Brian. One of you invited Daryl. Neither of you told me. So I didn't know until we got on the air.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Yeah, it was funny.
But the way you went on and on about Willow before we actually did that show, I'm like, okay, now I know why we make fun of it because you went, you're gonna like it. It's really good. It's the best movie. It's his best movie. No, Todd, that's your thing. I'm not stopping that. I'm gonna talk about Daredevil too. Now, let's. What we're gonna talk about today is cinematic genius.
The best movie of 2024.
We'll get there of what it is or is not, but we all watched, and you probably heard it on the show. We watched Kraven the Hunter. I know I watched it. Did you guys both watch it?
How could we talk about it if we didn't? Yes. Yeah.
Didn't make me think I had a choice.
Protest things like that.
I watched it, and I went above and beyond. We'll talk about that afterwards. But
okay,
and
you
made it
Madame
very
Webb, too.
clear to you guys. Like, I think I might have asked 4 times. Are we really doing this?
You asked 4 times. And I was almost going to text
because that's
Todd,
2 hours and 20 minutes of your life you could have given up for nothing. So,
I'm like, Todd,
and I was on a flight back and forth
watch
to Vegas, and I still didn't want to watch it. I was like, I'll look out the window.
Well, we'll talk about the movie because we may have different opinions on it.
About it.
Yeah, maybe I liked it. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I think there's a lesson to be learned with this movie. Yep. But we'll get there. So we're going to talk about that. But hopefully, again, listen to that Val Kilmer show. It was fun. Okay. Let's do some random. Todd, what you got?
So John Boyega wants to play Bishop in the MCU, and he's already talked to Kevin Feige about it. So do you know who Bishop is, the X-Men character?
Yeah, he was the
robot in Aliens.
Days of Future Past.
So he's a time traveling mutant who comes back from the future, attempting to change the past. So coincidentally, I have a Variety article here from the year 2028, in which John Boyega is complaining that Bishop doesn't have a big enough part in the film, and it should have been about him. Okay, so now we fast forwarded.
Whoa, wait! Is it Bishop wasn't in Days of Future Past? Who was the guy?
No,
who was the guy with the red eyes?
You're talking about Cable?
No. In Days of Future Past, when they're in the future.
Yeah.
I thought that was Bishop. I could be wrong. We'll look.
Anyways, I don't know why Kevin Feige would consider putting him in anything, but we'll see. I'm sure he will not be happy with it no matter what.
But he seems to have a love-hate relationship with any franchise he gets associated with.
He does. And yet he cashes a paycheck. So it's like, yeah.
And I guarantee if they find a role for him in a future upcoming Star Wars project, he will be in it.
Yes. Yep. I would guarantee that too. Another Marvel-related thing.
Bishop was in that movie. Omar Sy played him.
I so have forgotten most things about the.
It's with the girl.
I do kind of remember that. It was, but
I don't remember.
But yeah,
who the girl was.
There was
in
some
the
good
scenes
stuff in that
before
movie,
they
but-
went back in time, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I like that movie.
Anyway,
as far as X-Men movies go, it was in the good X-Men movie category. Yeah.
and there is definitely a good pile and a really bad pile.
There is. It's just a steaming, festering pile of crap pile.
There's nothing that's just, it's okay. Yeah. It's good, very bad.
Yeah. So there's a neat little featurette out that shows Florence Pugh jumping off a skyscraper for Thunderbolts, and it's in Kuala Lumpur, second highest building in the world. It's pretty freaking amazing. This is like Tom Cruise level, doing your own.
I was going to say, who she thinks she is, Tom Cruise?
Stunt thing, and she actually does part of this. They show this, and apparently she is not bothered by heights, and so she steps off the building, and there's obviously a platform to catch her, but she's still doing a stunt on top of the second largest building in the world, and it's pretty amazing. I am getting very psyched for this movie, I got to say. It looks like some really cool stuff in it, but it's definitely worth checking out. And just very, very cool.
I hope it's good. There's two things. It has to be good, and it has to do the box office. Exactly. I don't know if it's going to do both.
I only need it to be good. I don't care if it makes money or not.
I'm kind of at that point, Barry, where I want to be happy with it, and I'm kind of in the Guardians 3 area right now, where I'm getting past being worried about it being good, because I'm feeling like everything we've seen, it is very good, and they're showing more and more about it, and there's some really obscure Marvel characters involved in this, but that story is good. So if they tell it the way they should, it should be very interesting. So
they are talking a lot about it. So
yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
To listen to Apple Music, you'll need to.
Our new sponsor, Apple Music.
Yeah.
Check them out at applemusic.com.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts.
You can. Yeah. Barry, what do you got?
I've got a bunch of Star Wars things. Can I just do Star Wars speed round, or do you have any?
Yeah, go.
Did anybody else?
Yeah,
have?
do Star Wars speed round.
Okay.
Because most of it's probably bullshit.
Yep, it's all fine. So I don't remember if we talked about it or not, but they announced since the last time we recorded Star Wars Tales of the Underworld coming out on May 4th. 6 shorts about Cad Bane and Asajj Ventress in Clone Wars animation style. So Todd and I will enjoy that. Dave won't watch it.
We will enjoy it.
Sean Levy's movie. Supposedly it's been fast-tracked.
I read all these headlines.
Yes. So we talked a while back, Ryan Gosling supposedly has been cast in it. What's interesting, though, is that, and then nobody's confirmed, but Jodie Comer and Jesse Plemons are both also supposedly being cast in it. What's really interesting about Jodie Comer, though, is that she played Rey's mother.
She's already been
Rise
in a
of
Star
Skywalker.
Wars movie.
So would it be a different character, or is she being brought in to play Rey's mother in flashbacks? Could be interesting. And they're saying, and maybe we'll hear about this by the time this show drops, we've got Star Wars Celebration, but they're saying it might shoot in the fall, and it could be the next movie that comes out after the Mando and Grogu. So we'll see.
Do we know definitively that character died?
No.
We don't know anything about her.
We know that the husband died. Right. The Palpatine's son died. Yeah, he gets stabbed in the stomach by Ochi.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I wonder. It is possible.
I don't think we see her die on screen. I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. It's possible she's still.
I haven't seen that movie that many times, but
yeah, yep.
All right, so now let's just talk a little bit about Andor season 2. 8 days from today, 4 days from when the show drops, they released the runtime of all the episodes. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I did a little math.
I didn't look.
I did a little math. Each arc, I added up the runtimes for each arc, because we're getting 3 episodes a week. The first 3 episodes,
which is ridiculous. That worries me. Why are they doing 3 a week? I don't get it.
I don't know either. And they easily could have stretched it out over 12 weeks. For some reason, they don't want to. But in week 1, we're getting 2.46 hours of content. And again, this includes
2.46.
Yes, so more than 2.5 hours. Or just less than 2.5 hours. This includes credits and all that.
Yes, right.
Stuff,
I was just going to say that's not total content. That's runtime.
Right, but this is total runtimes. Second arc is 2.7 hours of content. Third arc is 2.48 hours of content, and then the fourth arc is the shortest one at 2.26 hours of content. So each week,
so we're looking at
an
hour and 50 minutes, each arc.
There's a movie every week.
There's a movie. It's basically a movie
each week, and we can expect the first episode will be sufficiently slow enough that they knew it couldn't stand on its own.
Maybe, but still, release 2 episodes.
Could there be 3-week episodes, 4-week episodes? I just don't.
No. I'm saying
they're
following the same pattern they did before, and they're building to the arc. But
each one of these.
They don't want to take the hit. They don't want to take the hit for people slamming the first episode when it's expectable and needed build up. There's a lot of story that needs to be told.
Each week is an arc, though. That's the thing. Each week, each 3 episode is an arc.
That's what I'm saying, Barry. I'm
saying
that I think, and we'll see whether this is borne out. I think they took so much crap about the build-up episodes in the previous season that they're dropping arcs as complete things so that they're not getting a week of, after the first episode drops, a week of when is something going to happen and why aren't we seeing this and why aren't we seeing this? We'll see.
And you couldn't do 2 a week since there's 3
and
episodes.
that's what I'm saying.
But Todd, that makes sense as a viewer, but when I put my programmer hat on for half a second, they don't care. They don't want people
Barry,
to be engaged with their platform for 12 weeks.
This is a show that never got the viewership they wanted it to, okay? And they don't want negative buzz out of the shoot.
I guess.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, part of me
I'm
is
happy for
that
it.
we're
I
getting.
think it's great.
I'd rather savor it, even if some are a little slow.
The great thing, Dave, is you can take your time watching. You can watch it whenever you want.
I know. But the problem is, even for
it'll be spoiled. That's the problem. It'll be spoiled for you if you wait.
It'll be spoiled. But even if you're a big TV watcher, 2.5 hours is a commitment, to watch in one night.
But you can when you want to, and that's the thing. They put in the control in your hands, and you get to see that. And I think it's I think there's so much crap written about everything. There's so much immediate response to people writing what they expected. They didn't see what they expected to see, or whatever. I think they're re-looking at how stuff like this is being distributed. Bosch. Bosch is basically dropping in kind of arcs, okay? And
are they? Can't even.
We got 4 episodes in the first drop.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got through the whole, if you watched the 4 episodes, which I did over a couple of days, you got to the conclusion of a bunch of storylines, and then they picked up 2 more episodes that were, so. I think this isn't because they want to they want to get peak viewership.
Story arc dropping could be interesting.
I think that could, and this is, I'm really excited for the show, and I'm really eager to see what they do with it. And I think if this minimizes a bunch of idiots whining about it, terrific.
Yeah, I mean, I rewatched season 1 over the last week, and it's as good as I remember it being. So
it is amazing storytelling that is so much better than like I said, the whining about it at the time. And
yes.
Yeah. So I absolutely love the show, and I think, like I said, it's a lot more like reading a book than watching a traditional television show. There's
and you know what though, and one thing I will say, last thing I'll say about the way they're releasing it, I watched it in 2 or 3 episode chunks, and it didn't ever feel slow the way when we watched it over the course of 12 weeks, it felt a little bit slower. So maybe there is something to be said for it.
No, I think so too. And I think, like I said, they just, and again, this is I read a couple of weeks ago, the Acolyte still had better viewer numbers than Andor. So they need to combat that.
With season
I think so too.
Out.
But I think this is probably strategy to do that. So,
right, so the last thing, real quick, today tickets to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters went on sale. My son Brandon, who's 26 now, reminded me a couple weeks ago that I wouldn't let him go see it in the theater when it came out because I thought he was too young, and I had heard that there was some really violent stuff in it. So I am making good, and I'm taking Brandon and Joshua to see this in the theater. They've never seen this movie in a movie theater, so they're actually super excited about it. So I got tickets.
Cool.
So
what anniversary is it?
20th, yeah.
Oh, okay. 6 years old?
He was 5. He was 5 when the movie came out. I mean, Anakin getting his arms and legs cut off and burning in a... I thought that might be too much for him.
It's no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he reminded me when I told him it was coming out, he's like, you wouldn't take me to see that. I'm like, oh, I traumatized you.
That is great. So, that is great.
Yeah, so
I love when the kids remember
now.
stuff like that.
Oh, he remembered. I didn't remember. He remembered.
Yeah.
All right. Dave, what do you got?
A quick snippet. Speaking of Bosch, Titus Welliver is going to be at Terrificon.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love him. We can talk to him about Hot Toys figures because he's a Hot Toys
We can
collector.
Absolutely. I think he would come on the show.
I think he should.
I enjoyed
Titus,
that
we're coming for you.
convention when we went last year. I have to look timing-wise to see if it works out for me this year, but I enjoyed it last year.
Yeah.
When is it?
But August 8th through the 10th.
That could work.
Yeah, I can maybe make that work. I have something, but I could...
I remembered you
I
saying
liked him
that
a
you
lot.
didn't know
I got to
would
say,
work for you.
I've liked him in pretty much everything he's been in.
He was in Lost, Barry.
I know he was in Lost.
He was in the one of the best arcs in Voyager. He was in Deadwood. Had a great character in Deadwood. Yeah.
Lost, it was, I guarantee you, what do you think of Lost? He goes, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Of
course not.
And neither did they.
Yep.
That's exactly what he'll say.
But he got
sure,
paid.
Because I didn't know what was going on. That made no sense. He's the smoke monster.
Yeah.
That's when it was all falling apart.
He was Jacob.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. This is more of a very random, but let me ask you. So here we are probably minimally 3 years away from another James Bond movie, I would think. They got to find a new James Bond. They got to find a new director. They got to write a script. They got to shoot the movie. And we're nowhere near, especially with now Amazon. And there's been talk. What would you think of a series, more serious, taking, say, Pierce Brosnan and doing a old James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan? The choices are Pierce or Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton's a little too old.
He's getting a little thick, too.
Yeah. But, I'm watching that. Not that... I saw him on the Today Show or something because he's promoting that Mobland, which I don't think he's particularly great in it or anything. But I'm like, he's still, he's 75. It would be cool to see, whatever needs to happen, James Bond needs to come out of retirement and do something.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
cool. They did an
cool
old Sherlock Holmes movie one time, and I think it would be something similar to that. And that could be kind of cool. That could kind of cool.
I'm not the first one to talk about this, but Amazon, do something. You can get that up and running in a year.
I didn't
6
love
months,
him as
whatever.
James Bond to start with, though. So those aren't really my favorite.
I liked
Bond
him
movies.
as Bond, and I always felt like that was kind of justice because those weren't the best Bond films. It wasn't him though. It was.
Yes, I agree with exactly what you're saying. I think he was a good James Bond. I think they were very 90s and very sort of let's be funny. I think he was good. He was better than the material.
They were. I think they were very mixed on what kind of Bond movies they wanted to make, and they kept trying to inject Roger Moore-ish era things in there and different things. They kept trying different things, and it didn't really work. And then they went really dark for one of them, and I feel like we were really robbed in not getting him when he was supposed to be, when they originally basically, offered it to him, and then he got screwed over by the TV show he was on. So,
but like a more serious him in an older James Bond thing could be interesting, especially now that you can kind of do different stuff like that.
So would you make him retired, or would you make him like running MI5 and decides
he's not going to run?
No, but I'm saying like, is he like the who loses a bunch of agents and goes in to finish things up? It'd be interesting. I think he's in Jamaica.
I don't think he's.
He's in Jamaica. On the beach having a cigar.
He's not going to be behind the desk.
And he's
something happens. Whatever. Something. Who knows? His daughter is. And how about this? This kills two birds with one stone. His daughter is an agent, and she was 007, and someone killed her, and he had to come back and avenge her death.
Okay.
Then you get a female James Bond without ever seeing her.
Or how about his daughter is taken, and he needs to recruit Liam Neeson to use his particular set of skills
to get her back. So it's just basically
no. Liam Neeson's the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Liam Neeson captures her. Yeah, there we go.
He's the kidnapper.
Or captures her. She's an agent. Captures her, and he rescues her through all this bullshit. And not until the end do we... M, who's ever M at the time, is like, well, I'm glad everything worked out, 007. And she says, thank you. And that's all you knew, that she was 007.
I would say don't make it his daughter. Make it his protege who he basically puts in his position on his way out the door.
So he can bang her. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying so that it's not just this, like, where did he get a daughter?
Well, that's what Bond does, though. You need that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Nobody wants a 75-year-old Bond girl. Yeah. I mean, no offense to 75-year-old women.
But she's got to be female and she's got to be 007.
Yeah, I agree. So it's like, and you know what we do? We go like 007's, so you don't know who it is. And like it's, 007's taken off the board.
Well, we're directing this. And
I'm telling you, but you start with like M being informed that 007's been taken out. And so you don't know who 007 is, and then you get it from,
That's a little Mission Impossible 3, but that's fine.
It works.
Carrie Russell. We'll get Carrie Russell to be 007.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm going to find her.
People,
right.
Call us, Jeff. We've got a treatment we got an elevator pitch for
Jeff
you.
Bezos. Come on.
Yeah.
Call us.
All right.
Anyway. Do I have anything else? The Oscars are adding a stunt category.
I had that on my list.
Hair and makeup.
But not until 2028
not until
Oscars.
2027.
Well, it's the 2027
to
award season
Tom Cruise
in 2028. Yeah, it's the 2027 award season, but they won't do it until the 100th Oscars in 2028. Why does it take so long to get a new category going? Like, if they've already made the decision,
jump off the moon.
Why can't it just be in next year's Oscars?
Yeah, just
I don't understand it.
Who the hell knows? Who knows? Did you guys see the new sort of extended Superman trailer that came out of CinemaCon?
Yes.
The bad dog Crypto one?
Crypto's kind of a little bit of a jerk.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like
playful.
Okay. I will say
the heartwarming original trailer, like, oh my God, Crypto, and like he's jumping on him. And the guy's like broken ribs and he's jumping on him. I love it.
This is what the dog is used to. I'll tell you, I related to that. I took a header on my mountain bike one time, rolled down a hill. I'm laying in the ground. Darwin comes over and he's like licking my face and jumping up and down, and I'm trying to get up, and he's like, "Oh, you're laying in the ground. You want to play?" I totally related to that.
No, I think it's cute, but they're showing a lot of stuff.
I think I read and I think I heard the voice. I think Alan Tudyk's.
Oh yeah, no, that is the voice.
Yeah.
And this is his fourth or fifth DC character that he's played. So he was the bad guy in Doom Patrol. He's two voices in Creature Commandos.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yep.
Good. We like him.
Anything else? Anybody?
No, my last one was going to be
who has everything?
The Oscars.
Fanboy Collectibles. Long-awaited Hot Toys Cassian Andor.
My God,
just
is that long-awaited?
complaining on the show that and K2SO.
Yeah,
they did. K2 is a re-release, which is good, and Cassian is finally they're getting him done.
That's good because you can't. Anyone who bought that waiting for Cassian and then or missed it, it's good they're re-releasing.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yet another Deadpool battling Hot Toys Deadpool.
I think my favorite thing on the site right now is, and I'm not a Funko Pop guy, but the Captain Kirk on the Transporter Funko Pop.
That is, I was looking at that. That is
and
cool.
Captain Picard. They're doing both.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's so cool, and it's in stock.
Those are all up for grabs. Check them out at filmboycollectibles.com. They got, like we said, Hot Toys and Pops and Sideshow and Hasbro and Kotobukiya and So-So Toys and Hono Toys, I think, right? Yep. They got everything.
And if you're like totally not into this stuff, but you like baseball, they've got Aaron Judge Funko Pop. Like they've got all kinds of stuff. It's not just nerd
It's
stuff.
not just fun stuff.
Yeah.
But they got everything you need. Check them out. They got pre-orders. They got stuff up for sale already. Check those guys out. And if you're in Connecticut, or what part of Connecticut?
Newtown, Connecticut.
South? No, I meant, I don't know what part of the state. It's like South Central,
Yes. Yep.
I'd say. Check them out. Yeah, that's Barry said,
well
Newtown,
worth the
Connecticut.
trip. I'm
tell them
overdue.
the regular Joe sent you.
So Dave.
Okay, so before we go on to the next thing, Barry.
Well, I was going to go into the second.
Kirk be completely transparent. Right?
It's in the middle of transporting him.
That's it, but it doesn't work that way. It's not like he's being poured into a bottle. He should be like,
Playmates did the same thing. They did it the same way.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's just it seems like a Funko Pop of the Playmates figure as opposed to the transporter effect. Just saying.
I still like it.
Would you pay even the $15 for an all sparkly Kirk? You can't. They're taking artistic.
I think you have it like so you flip it. So like one side's painted Kirk, the other side is transporter Kirk.
Okay,
it could be interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. So before we move on, is there anything we want to talk about with our other sponsor?
Yeah, I was just going to say
Dave's Workshop.
What is it you're wearing, Dave?
Oh, I am wearing From Dave's Workshop T-shirt, long sleeve T-shirt, which it says right here on the arm. They're not available. I found this new place that makes stuff. Not only that,
before we did the whole. Okay, yeah. So just to be clear, okay, are you somewhere just out of sight? You have ones for Barry and I.
I can. I don't know. I
think we do. Barry,
want them?
I would love nothing more to be a walking billboard for Dave's new venture.
Okay, very good.
Of course, I have them.
Okay,
of course I do.
From Dave's Workshop.
But yeah, so if you need a display for your prop, or you need plaques, or you need apparently even prop replicas, they're all available. So check
if you need it fabricated.
FromDavesWorkshop.com.
Dave from Dave's Workshop is your fabrication one-stop fabrication shop.
Yeah. No, I just finished up 2 projects. I have permission to post them.
Oh, that's awesome. I was just going to say, in the pre-show, we talked about some really amazing stuff that...
in the next week or so, I'll have them up. I'm waiting for the owners to receive those. But, I have 3 things I'm working on over the next couple of weeks. I just finished 2 big ones, as you guys saw.
Yeah, it's very big.
And things are going good. So... I'm on social media as From Dave's Workshop or FromDavesWorkshop.com, and I didn't screw it up at all this time.
I was waiting to see. It's a good job.
Good.
If you're ever in Westchester, don't check me out because I don't want to see you in person.
It's not a storefront. It's a workshop.
No, I have met people to hand off something, but save on shipping. I'll meet you somewhere, and only in Westchester.
Listen, Adam Savage's workshop isn't open to the public. It's not an uncommon thing that a workshop would be a private place. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming soon, tours of Dave's workshop. Anyways, but we'll give you more information when that comes up.
They're 10 minutes long.
That's right.
It's like Rancho Obi-Wan, only smaller.
Yeah.
you get to, not only do you get a tour, but you get to sand things.
I was just going to say.
The most
I was going to say now,
warning, have you sand.
Disclaimer, you may be required to work for several hours before you're allowed to leave.
Some people call it slave labor. Dave calls it a tour.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. That's it. It's immersive. It's an immersive experience.
It is. That's
totally
actually
immersive.
the right word for it. It's immersive.
Yep.
If you're allergic to sanding acrylic, don't show up.
Yeah. If you've got asthma, maybe not the best idea, but Yep.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to do what's in the box because if we wait till the end, we won't do it. So,
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Barry, what's in the box?
All right. I am going to show you what's in the box. This is my Factory Entertainment Battlestar Galactica blaster with lights and sounds.
very nice.
You guys hearing that?
It's big. It seems bigger than the one we had.
It's a big gun.
It's a big gun. They've done a great job reproducing it. I'm very, very happy with it. It's very clean. The casting of it is really clean. The batteries actually go behind one of these brown grips,
Nice.
and it's held on magnetically, so you've actually got to kind of peel it off.
Oh, cool.
So it's held on really well. I mean, there's only one. You pull the trigger, and it activates the lights and sounds. Only one sound, but it's really, really well done. I mean, I've seen castings of this.
heavy?
And what was that?
Is it heavy at all?
No, not
Or is
really.
it light?
It's pretty light.
Yeah.
I've seen
it
castings
had
of this
some
at
weight
shows
to
and
it.
stuff, and sometimes they were a little rough, and sometimes the paint wasn't quite. This is really, really well done.
Well, me and Todd have that one. And
Yes.
and
Dave did a great paint job on mine. So
what I don't,
I'm actually making a display case for one of them.
well, that's what I was just going to talk
somebody.
about. What
Friend
I
of the show.
don't love is the display stand that it comes with. It's
so
very
odd.
wobbly.
So odd.
It's wobbly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got black pieces that hold it in place, and it's a black gun, so it just looks like a
covers it up,
sea of black. I mean, it's got a nice metal plaque that goes in the middle. That's got the they hand wrote the number. I guess they made 1,000 of these, and so they hand wrote the number out of 1,000 that you get, and it's kind of like a Battlestar Galactica Cubit, which is kind of cool. It's metal.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
But I have no problem with the base being black. I think that the supports should have been clear acrylic or something to help highlight the gun.
It's too bad we don't know somebody who makes displays who could
that
maybe
was kind
update
of where
that.
I was going with it. I mean, and not only that, it on the stand itself, it's wobbly. Like I
look at
really
that.
don't like this stand at all. So we're gonna have to look at ways of improving the displayability of it. But the gun itself,
somebody is having me build a new display case for it, and I'm sure I'll be able to show that one.
Yeah.
if
So
anyone else
I
wants.
will say, 9 out of 10, or maybe even 10 out of 10 on the gun itself. The display stand is a fail. Yeah. But I'm super happy with the gun itself, and I think we can improve the stand. So
Ours is pretty simple, right? It was just clear.
Yeah. But it works. It works really well. I would say one of my favorite objects has a Dave reworked display stand, and it's 100% improvement in the thing. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do like. I'm just trying to pry it out of the base. I do like this plaque that it comes with. It's metal. It's got the galactic.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
And it's nicely done. It's just the stand just kind of doesn't really.
And we'll be able to put that into the new stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is if we can sync that into it like that, it'll go well. But
absolutely,
it's just the stand doesn't do the prop justice. So
yeah, and that
it's my first Factory Entertainment high-end prop replica. So I'm hoping that they start to improve as they release future items. So that's what's in my box. Dave, what's in the box?
I have a simple-ish thing. I actually got this off the RPF. Someone was doing a run of... I thought it was cool. Someone's doing a run of Gambit playing cards from Deadpool and Wolverine. And if you look at the screenshot of them, these are exact. They're plastic, and they've got this carbon fiber.
I was just going to say, is that carbon fiber? Yeah,
that's interesting. It's plastic. But, this guy made this, did this run. They weren't expensive, but it's cool. And the back is exactly like the way they were from the movie.
That's cool.
That's very intricate pattern on the back. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know how he had them made, but they're this plastic material, and they come in a box. But I thought it was cool. I mean, I just appreciated that character sort of showing up after we've been hearing so much.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Queen is kind of cool. Oops,
is it a whole deck
King.
of cards?
It's a whole deck. Yeah, here's But yeah, they did a nice job with it.
I might get that info from you, because that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll see if there's still... He did a run. I don't know if there's any available, but I'll look into it and let you know. Yeah. I like plastic playing cards, so... yeah, they're very sort of reflective when you do them, so... That's from the RPF. If you're into props, you should be a member of the RPF. Todd, what's in the box?
So this is not something you had already talked about, Dave, when you got yours, but I have a C-3PO head here.
It wasn't my fault, sir. Please don't deactivate me.
And this is a Disney park thing that friend of the show, Eric Graves, picked up for me, and I just want to thank him for that, and his wife, who helped him get it to me, get it in the mail to me, and really, really appreciate that, because it was something that I didn't have the opportunity to get, and when I saw yours, I was excited about it, and it is a very, very cool item. So
yeah, they did a great job with
that. They really did, and reasonably priced, and is very cool. I love the way the outer shell comes off, and you get to see all the innards, and then it still functions like that. It is interesting that it doesn't have a battery, that it actually is, you have it plugged in.
Is plug-in, but yeah, there was talk about that.
I don't have so much problem with that, because it is USB-C. It's not, you can get a cable in whatever length you want, and you don't have to worry about the battery getting corroded or dying. So this isn't something you're going to carry around. It's going to sit in a shelf anyways. So put it on a shelf near an outlet. So I was just going to say, or get a little rechargeable battery for you use for your phone and plug it into that. So
yeah, and I was going to say, it's the kind of thing you can just plug it in when you want to plug it in. It doesn't have to always have batteries sitting.
You did, Dave, huh?
I tried my Anchor, and I have a pretty big Anchor battery pack. It did not work.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out, because I got a number of different ones.
Yeah,
and I have some different wattage ones too. So.
Yeah, I didn't. Maybe there's something to that, or maybe I didn't do it right. But
cool. Yeah. So that's just what's the box. Thank you very much, Eric, and greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it's a cool item, and it's cool. I have mine on right now when the eyes glow. You could literally leave it plugged in. They're LED.
It's very cool.
Little light in the room.
Protocol. Why, it's my primary function, sir. I am well versed in all the custom. What's going on, Tim?
So it's like you're never alone.
You're playing.
It's just like
exactly.
What's really cool too is I know you've got the plating off on yours right now, and it looks really good that way. But it's also a really good platform. I've seen a lot of people customizing it and adding wires and things to it to make it look really, really screen accurate.
Oh, so that's cool.
It's good the way it is, but it's even it leaves you the opportunity to do things to it and make it look even more screen accurate.
I gotta be careful not to touch it now. They did some detail. There's some rust effect on the inside and some dry brushing and whatnot. So they did a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I could see where somebody like you would go to town and really make it, show its age.
I wonder if people put that dent in his head from whatever episode.
Okay.
But it's like ceremonial end of Star Wars
polished.
Looking
shiny C3PO,
which is I'm fine with.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
cool. It's cool. Alrighty. Next we go to. So we all, we've been talking about Kraven the Hunter, and it had bad reviews, and unlike Thunderbolts, where it's all over. I literally did not even know when Kraven was in the movie theater. It was almost no discussion.
Yeah.
There were there were commercials for it, but
there were,
but
12 people saw
it.
So
see it. Yeah. So we decided to watch it, and see, is it what people thought? Is it? I think there were a lot of preconceived ideas about it. Not that they were right or wrong, but there took some arm twisting amongst ourselves to make us watch it. So we did. This is like we're like, hey,
there you go. We watched it,
and we watched it. I mean, Todd, do you want to go first?
Okay, I will say, the first 20 minutes of this movie, I was like, this really isn't that bad. I was watching it, and I was thinking, like, I love the prison thing. I love that, it's like, I even up to the, the bad CGI lion attack, I was like, okay, there's potential here. This could be, could be a whole lot better than people are saying it is. And then it went off the rails and got silly and got more silly.
You thought it got off the rails? I mean, I thought it wasn't great, but I mean, I'll just in total, it's better than I thought it was going to be. We thought and we're in the world of comparing it to Morbius and comparing it, at least Barry and I are able to compare it to Madame Webb. But here's the thing. I mean, I'm not saying it was good, but it wasn't horrible. I mean, really horrible. At least it had a premise. Like Madame Webb, I don't have a freaking clue, or Morbius, what they were trying to accomplish. This was like, here's the guy, he's a hunter, his father's a gangster, hated his father for the way he treated the kids. I'm going to go kill gangsters. I mean, and at least that's the story. I mean, you tell me what the Morbius story was. I have no idea. So,
yeah, I think if of the three, Barry, you want to go? You want to go ahead?
No.
Say something, Barry.
I'm just can't believe what words just came out of Dave's mouth.
Okay, I
assumed he would hate this so much more than he seems to have.
Of the three films, I actually think Morbius is probably better. Okay, it's got a lot of problems. This film just is.
They both have a lot of problems. I mean, there's no.
No. But I'm saying Morbius
say
does.
This
but
is
this is like, it's just. I don't think it's ever that interesting, and we know the character. Character's been around for 60 years, and they did some retconning, obviously, and there was the potential to make him kind of interesting, but it's I don't know, the enhanced power thing was very Spider-Man-y. But I'm saying it's like, why give him Spider-Man-y powers when obviously we're not going to see Spider-Man in this? Then
are they Spider-Man-y? I mean, he got him from a lion.
Oh, I know, but I mean the leaping from the
mixture of lion blood and whatever that potion that we never found out what it was.
Exactly.
I mean, as much as that, I was thinking to myself, as much as that's hokey, you got bled into by a lion and you get drained. Is it any more hokey than being bit by a spider?
It wasn't a radioactive.
At least it was a radioactive spider. This was a regular.
No, it was. I think it was a special lion. There was something to that lion.
Right out of. I mean, this is.
How do we know there was something about that lion? They never told us anything.
No, they never did.
They said it could never get killed.
In the comics, he did. There was a. I mean, the Callisto analog character from the comics did give him some kind of voodoo potion, which would give him enhanced strength temporarily and stuff like that. So, they did play off of that a little bit. I just kind of felt like it just felt silly a lot of the time. And there was potential there. And again, I think seeing him, obviously like taking out mobsters because of, his family history and that kind of thing and stuff like that worked. There were some action things in this that were good, but it just, like I said, some of the goofy was just crazy goofy.
They jammed too many. Like, let's drag in like
the Rhino thing. Just was so
Kraven the Hunter's like a B- level Spider-Man villain. Let's bring in some D level Spider-Man villains as well.
Like, and again, the Rhino thing was just so bad that it was just like every time, that plot line kind of came up, and I was just like, oh God, I know where this is going. This is just going to be terrible. And it was worse than I imagined.
Well, my favorite part of the Rhino character was that he referred to that stuff that keeps him from being the Rhino as his feed bag.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what?
The Rhino is a guy who puts. The Rhino is a guy who puts on a suit. Okay, it's like, it's yeah.
Not in this. I want to go back to Calypso for a second.
Yep.
I thought it was very convenient that she just happened to be there at that exact moment when Sergei gets attacked by the lion, and that she happens to have the potion with her.
Fate. It's fate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. That's what happens in every movie.
Was there more to her story because she was there then she disappeared, and then she popped back in the middle of the movie, and in the third act she was gone, and we never saw her again? No, I know he looked for her, but then she just disappeared.
Lawyer that has absolutely no problem working with this guy that's killing people extrajudiciously.
But she's a lawyer, but then they allude to the fact that she's got skills as well. That we
get that
one bow and arrow shot, and then
one bow and arrow shot. And also, my favorite thing is with her was he gets attacked by a tiger, okay, by a white tiger, okay. And she just stands there watching, with kind of an amused look on her face, okay?
She went to Africa as a kid.
I have two quotes.
She doesn't know that he's basically playing with this thing. It's like this thing leaps out of nowhere, attacks him, and they're rolling around on the ground, and she doesn't run away. She doesn't scream. She just kind of stands there and just waits to pick up the dialogue again. And it was just
I wrote down two quotes of her dialogue because this sums up the movie to me in two quotes. One, she says, "Legends don't die. Now get the fuck up, Kraven." Okay. The other one she says was, "My grandmother died on that trip, and I never saw her again."
I know. It's yes. Yeah.
Well, I love I can find anyone. I'm the greatest hunter. I hunt everybody. Why are you here? I need you to find someone.
I know. It's just and again, I think he did a fine job with it.
I think you want to know if Anna Taylor-Joy or whatever his name is,
Aaron,
Jeffrey Taylor
Soldier,
the kid from
Aaron
Taylor Johnson.
He's dead. He's compelling. I mean, as an actor. He didn't have great material, but
superhero adjacent movie, and he does fine
this
everything.
part's not his fault, but his voice did not convey a powerful hunter to me. His voice is very high pitched.
Well, he really. You ever hear his high pitched English voice?
It's even worse.
But that was part of the other problem I had.
He's compelling on screen.
Him and his brother. They completely retconned that to say, oh, well, they went to prep school in New York. That's why neither of them have a Russian accent at all.
And why, when they carve their names at the trees, it's in English and not Cyrillic.
They went.
It was just. It was all over the place. This thing.
Yeah.
It was a little. Russell Crowe was.
I mean, his career is so bad that this is what he's doing now.
It's like, hey,
well, that's what
Jor-El, he's Jor-El, he's the bad guys. It's like,
but both of them. I mean, Russell Crowe still sort of has a career, and this kid is up and coming. I mean, I'm surprised they're both in this.
I don't think it's his fault though. Russell Crowe to me felt like, and he was fine in it. I actually had to look at the cast list while I was watching it and ask myself, is that Russell Crowe? I wasn't sure.
I thought that was pretty clear.
I thought the brother stuff and the brother turning into Chameleon was just stupid. But the brother was just...
Craven's brother is Chameleon. And
was he? I didn't even
remember. So that, and when he was doing the mimicking of the voices, I was like, they're going to do this Chameleon thing because of that?
Yeah.
But Dave, they explained that all with one line of dialogue. I saw a doctor in New York and he fixed me.
He's the same guy, yeah.
Dr. He was a coward through the whole thing and was so anti all of it. And then, I saw a doctor in New York and he fixed me.
Wait, you're expecting character development?
No, he just goes from coward to mob boss in a half a second. So now the weirdest part of this whole movie for me, honestly, and I'm sure neither of you guys picked this up, at the point where he's in the nightclub and he's playing the piano and singing, He's singing a Black Sabbath song from 1972 called Changes. It was weird. Oh, really? It was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it made no sense.
No, it's like I said, I don't know why they do these. They keep doing these things. I hope they're done.
It is odd. Why do I think? Well, probably to hang on to the licenses.
Yeah, but the plot was so thin. Who was the female pilot that kept?
I thought that was her.
Weird.
I thought that was her to begin with.
I thought it was going to be her too, but they never explain who she is.
Nope. Just
that's a weird deal.
Yeah. I did, like I said, I liked the prison thing up until it became very Spider-Man. He was bouncing around and stuff. Also, not that hard to hit a running man with an AK-47, people. Okay, when you're in the open and you're not doing enough serpentine,
and a spotlight on,
you're not doing enough serpentine.
He was doing a little serpentine,
doing a little bit, but just not
bit.
that much. And
He's clearly a parkour expert because he can climb.
Definitely
like
a parkour
crazy.
expert.
Well, yeah.
But I thought that whole, the thing where they swap him for the prisoner and stuff like that, and that was marginally clever. I would have liked to see more stuff like that than and the whole. The character kind of harkens. The character himself, Kraven, harkens back to the Most Dangerous Game. Short story with the Russian hunter who, basically stalks a big game hunter. I don't think we got enough of the hunter aspect in there. I think, like I said, it was kind of all over the place. And
especially with clearly the other brother really had issues with the father, right? And Kraven kind of left him there to be tormented by the father for years.
Right.
But then Kraven
Absolutely.
kills the father, and that turns the brother into a mob boss and turns him against Kraven.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that because he felt he came to still kiss his father's ass over the 16 years or whatever.
He just desperately wanted his father's love and attention.
Yes, he wanted respect.
Yeah. He wanted his father's respect. He never got it.
Absolutely.
So be happy that your father got killed by a bear. I don't know. I will go.
I'm not saying it was good. It's better than I thought it was.
So I didn't see Morbius, and I'm not going to. But I will say I enjoyed Madame Webb better than this movie.
Oh God, no!
Really?
No. Yeah.
No, I thought this.
So
Todd, you didn't see Madame Webb, so you can't.
I have seen Madame Webb.
He's going to say it anyway.
I watched Madame Webb this weekend.
What?
For Baseline?
Is that what you?
Wait a minute.
I watched it. I watched it for Baseline after this movie because I was like, okay. How is Madame Webb that much worse than this? Because it's rated that much worse than this. And then I watched it, and it is actually considerably worse than this.
I didn't think so.
Oh, well, you're wrong.
I did. I don't even know the story. Oh. There is no Madame Webb in Madame Webb. If it wasn't for Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney, there'd be nothing.
That's probably why I enjoyed it.
If it wasn't for the collection of mid to late 20s women playing teenagers, it wouldn't be interesting to watch at all. But, oh my God, it's so utterly terrible and just so brainless. And
well, the good thing about Madame Webb, Madame Webb is like an hour and 28 minutes or something, and it's over pretty quick. And you got some things to look at.
It's pretty long.
Is it?
It's longer than you think.
This was 2 hours and 7 minutes. I did watch Morbius on a plane on my tablet, and I remember, I think the copy was crappy too. It was very dark, but I don't remember knowing what the hell was going on with that. So, from at least my recollection, it's like Morbius is worse than both these other ones.
I liked Morbius better than it. I thought well, here's the other thing. So you make Morbius about this guy who goes into the jungle to try to track these bats down to find a cure for his paralysis, and it ends up turning him into a quasi-vampire. Then you make a follow-up of a woman who goes into the jungle to try to find spiders to cure this. And by the way, who the hell goes to see has a prenatal appointment with a doctor who says, well, your baby's probably going to die, but there's a legend of spiders in the Amazon that might have a cure, but no one's found them. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
But actually, finish your thought though, because you're about to say.
So it's like, so again, both of these movies involve basically going into the jungle and trying to find obscure animals, and then getting their toxins in your blood and being transformed by them. It's like, really, that didn't occur to anybody.
All three of these movies.
This one we have. So we've got bat venom, spider venom, and lion blood. Okay, it's just there's kind of a theme to these movies. It's like once that stuff gets into you,
all taken off of Spider-Man with the radioactive.
Here's what I find really interesting, and yep. I'm still processing the revelation that Todd watched Madame Webb, but 3 crappy movies. Yep. We all agree none of these are good movies. We each liked a different one best.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's totally fine. And okay, I will say.
To me, this was like relatively clear story. The main character was interesting to watch. The rest is a mess.
How about that final scene where he puts on the furry vest and sits in the throne? That was.
I don't think he would have even. The character he built in that movie would not wear that.
Oh my God, it was just absurd. I mean, there are things to like about Morbius, and I think you just have to look at it closely.
Maybe it was my copy was too dark.
Yeah, there's definitely things worth watching in there.
Well, now I really feel obligated to watch Morbius because Todd finally broke down and watched Madame Webb. So now I feel like I have to see.
Yes,
I'll tell you what, Barry, I'll watch it again.
It's a good.
I really had a bad viewing experience.
It's too long. Okay, they didn't have enough story. They artificially kind of tried to pump it up. And the problem with all of these things is, okay, at least in the 2 where they're villains, you got to then come up with another villain to make you less a villain. And Barry, I think you should give Morbius a try. Like I said, I like it. I think it's slightly better than Kraven, but much better than Madame Webb.
I was just saying, I have been holding on to a little bit of suppressed anger over the fact that I watch a lot of crap for the show and you refuse to watch Madame Webb. Now that I know you've watched it, I feel a sense of relief, and I will now watch Morbius.
Okay, I totally regard it as...
Which is why I was fighting so hard about not watching Kraven, because I'm like, wait a minute, why do I have to watch a shitty movie?
Well, none of them are good, but here's the thing I really don't get. If you take the main Aaron Taylor Johnson, or whatever his name is, Jared Leto and Dakota Johnson. These are A-level up-and-coming stars. Jared Leto, maybe even more so. I mean,
yeah, those two. I wouldn't say she is, but
she's in
at
demand
the time.
From all
I
that,
do not think that's.
She was coming off of all those
50 Shades
Grey,
of
whatever,
yeah,
sex movie, 50 Shades of Grey movies.
Yeah.
They are better than these movies. It's shocking that they got them to be in these. This guy could be the next James Bond. I mean, this is not like... All 3 of them are definitely relatively big names for these crappy movies. So I don't get how they got them in them.
This was...
Probably money.
Madame Webb's an $80 million movie. This is a, by some accounts, $100 to $130 million movie. I don't see that, but I don't know. Like I said, it's.
I would imagine I think Russell Crowe still commands a pretty pricey salary.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. It's, you know what, Barry, as I was saying that, I think it's their salaries in there. And
even if he made $5 million, which he probably didn't, that's still a drop in the bucket. They were in Africa, they were in London, they were in New York. There's your money right there. Yeah,
that's probably it. That's probably what it was.
Russia, I'm assuming maybe they were really
for Madame Webb. They had to get.
They're in Queens.
They had to get all those early 2000 cars unless you paid really good attention when they're moving quickly, and then you saw current cars. It's just not good. It's just
none of them are good.
Yeah.
This is all I'm saying is the two were better than I thought they were going to be. Not that they were still good.
The two, which two?
And more, Madame Webb, I didn't think was the worst movie I ever saw. Kraven was better than I thought. I mean, it's like it's a 3 and a 4. You know, it's not a 1 and a 1.5.
And you put Kraven, Kraven above Madame Webb?
I think so.
Oh yeah, God yes, yeah.
And I think Morbius, to me, and I will say, like I said before, I watched it in a horrible circumstance. It was hard to see. The audio wasn't great, so I'd watch it again, but I didn't have a freaking idea what was going on.
Rewatch that, give it 20 minutes, and if you don't think it's better than you thought it was, don't waste any more of your life, okay? But I think, like I said, I think it's better than these. I think it's a 3, a 4, and a 5. I think Morbius is a 5. This is a Kraven's a 4. Madame Webb is a generous 3. It's just silly, and again, to take all this spider adjacent stuff in there and try to cram it in the way, you know, like I said, putting Peter Parker's birth in the background, and you know, squeezing Ben Parker in there.
I don't even remember that.
Oh yeah. Did you get that was what was happening, Barry?
No, I don't remember. I might have at the moment.
The pregnant woman.
All of these movies are utterly forgettable. That's the thing.
Okay,
I barely remember Kraven, and I watched it a week ago.
The pregnant woman is Peter Parker's mother. Okay, his father is off scene.
Vaguely remember that. Yes,
and Ben Parker, okay, is her partner in the other paramedic, who apparently is you know.
I remember that, yes.
Who, for some reason, although no one really wants to go to a baby shower, forces his co-worker to go to his sister's baby shower. Don't understand that at all. But anyways, it's...
I vaguely remember that, too. Anyway, so here's what we're doing for you listeners. You don't got to watch any of these movies.
Yeah, I don't recommend any
None
of
them
these
are great
to people, but
if here's the thing. You already paid for Netflix.
Curious, then they're out there.
Go... You know, watch Kraven and see if you disagree with us. Again, there's bits in this movie that are fully watchable. It's just as a whole,
it's better than you thought it was.
It is
right?
better than I thought it was going to be. I will tell you,
that doesn't mean
the Rhino is one of the worst things they've done in these films. I mean, it was such a it was terrible.
And I don't think it's better than I thought it was going to be. I think it's just as bad as I expected.
Really?
It to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I have no attachment to the character, by the way. I've never read a comic that he appears in, so I don't have any. Prior.
Don't you have an attachment to Nicole, who dressed as
That was
Kraven
my introduction to Kraven, was when she was dressed in that costume. You guys
just
explained to me who it was.
It is the dude of all the Spider-Man villains. It's the dude who wears ballet slippers.
I don't remember. I got to pull one of those comics.
I read Conan.
Boy, and I'll tell you, putting me in the lion mane outfit at the end was just so good.
No, it was horrible.
So goofy.
And they didn't even go all the way because he wore like a lion face.
Oh yeah, that's on there. That's on the vest. Oh yeah, no, he's got like the eyes and stuff on the vest. It's full on stupid. It's like we're just at this point gonna we have paid this man and we're gonna shred any sense of humility he has left. We're going to dress him up silly and put some eye makeup on him and put him in the costume.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's Kraven.
I got to say, still, I would put all of these above the original Hulk and Catwoman.
Oh, God, yes.
But hasn't Sony come out and said that they're not making any more of these movies now? I mean, I think they have publicly said we're done.
Have they? I think people have said that, but I don't think they officially confirmed it because I don't think they can because of licensing.
But is the licensing making them any money? They're losing money.
But they've got to maintain the license. They've got to make a Spider-Man property every X number of years. So that's what this is all about.
I wonder if they could just make more money by just selling Spider-Man back to Marvel and just let the license go.
I have not seen I only saw the first Venom movie.
Those were fun. I actually have to admit I didn't see the third one, but
I haven't seen any of them.
So that seems to be the only thing of this franchise that's really worked out for them.
They're not good movies, but they're fun movies. You know what I mean? Like they don't make any sense either, but at least they're fun because they're a little bit more comedic.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So,
the interplay between Tom Hardy and Venom is fun.
Yeah, and I got that from the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I put it this way. This movie makes more sense to me than Madame Webb does. Okay? I can watch this movie and understand how you sold this movie to someone to make it, but stringing together the characters in Madame Webb, when the character itself is a 90-year-old blind woman, and I don't get it. I still don't understand that, and it is what it is. But I did watch it, Barry, so I
all right.
Yeah.
We're good. Go. It's a weight lifted off my shoulders now.
Yeah. Now you have to watch the 1994 Fantastic Four, just so we're even.
Okay.
I think we did watch
No, you did not. I'm the only one that's seen that.
I would watch it.
Oh, the 94 one,
How about the Captain Reb?
Oh, yeah. No, the Roger Corman one. Yep.
The Reb Brown Captain Americas. I mean, they're all in that sort of horribleness.
Yep. Listen, if we're all willing to watch shit together, I'm down. It's when we watch.
I think actually, put it this way: before the Fantastic Four, I think we all need to watch the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. I do, and I think we should.
All of them suck.
Roger Corman all the way up
there's
through
a
the
level
last
of suck
one. They've
in
all
this.
Been terrible.
There's a level of suck in this one that just exceeds almost everything else.
Sure.
But
I'll watch that. Is it even available?
It's accessible. So
it's probably on YouTube.
It's the never released Roger Corman Fantastic Four. So, and yet it's out there.
Often bootlegged, but never released. Yeah, it's out there. I know it's out there.
Exactly. It's out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've seen stuff from it.
Yeah. But, So.
Okay. Well, that's a show.
Okay. Well, that's a show. So we've done you a service. You don't have to watch this stuff. If you want to, and let us know what you think, fine to do that.
And tell us if you think we're wrong. If this was a great movie.
Oh man, if we're totally off base on this, you let us know because
No, we're not off base. You're just crazy. And that's fine.
If you think we are,
everyone's into what
we'll even have you come on the show and have you explain it to us.
That's right.
Everyone's into what they're into.
Yep.
This is true.
It really is.
We know what Barry likes. I like Xanadu. I don't know.
There's moderate nerd shaming here, but it's done with love.
You like Olivia Newton-John, okay?
Xanadu. I tried to watch it about 4 months ago.
We did. I think I texted
that's
you.
Not a difficult thing to. That's not a difficult thing to understand.
We left it on and just let it play while we were doing things around the house, and it's terrible.
Yeah. It is.
She looks fantastic in it.
Oh my gosh,
but
so exactly. All right, I've had enough of us. I've had enough of these movies. Next week, lots of stuff.
Something else.
I kind of feel like, and we can talk. This is planning on the air. I almost feel like we might need to push out recording next week so that we can talk about the first arc of Andor. But let's see if that works for everybody.
That's a lot. What's it come out Tuesday?
Comes out Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's the 22nd. It's Wednesday.
Because it's also the first arc. We should all have a chance to watch the first arc before we do it. And Dave's not going to want to do that in one sitting. So,
no, it depends on when it is. I can't.
No, I'm not going to bed until
Tuesday's
it's over.
tough because I'm not home until 9 o'clock after.
All right. Well, then
we have The Last of Us that premiered.
Yes.
There's a lot of shows.
There's actually a lot going on TV right now. Yeah.
Black Mirror.
There's a lot of
Black
shows
Mirror's
on
back.
in April.
Oh
yeah, Black Mirror started. Some things are winding. I started that Mobland, which is okay.
Is it?
Handmaid's Tale came back with 3 episodes. They dropped in one shot.
Never saw that. I watched Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm and Olivia Munn.
Anyone tried?
Okay.
Anyone tried Adolescence?
No.
I tried it. I was done with it by the time I was.
It's a very interesting thing. I mean,
it looks really depressing.
It's rough to watch, but it's shot in one take, and it's really interesting how they do it.
Oh, we haven't talked about the studio,
and we got to talk about the studio too. So
studio's good.
It's
well
done. How much of it have you seen?
I'm caught up.
I'm one behind, but
I think I might be one behind.
The Ron Howard episode.
That's the last one I watched. Was the Ron Howard? Yeah,
so great.
All right, let's do this. Maybe we watch the premiere of Last of Us. Is everyone going to jump in?
I've already seen it,
and then we'll talk about the studio.
Yeah.
Let's do that next week.
And then the week after, we can talk about first.
We can talk Andor.
We could do Andor the week after that. But all right, that's enough of us.
Okay.
And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.